It's Saturday, June 18th, 2022. I'm TC Kirkham, and this is the Kirkham Report. Hey guys and gals, TC Kirkham here, the Kirkham Report. As you can see right back there on that little sign. Hi VC and welcome to my show this week. Got a little bit of everything for you and we'll get started right here with this week's cover story. I think I was in second grade when I first discovered what music charts were. I'm a big chart fan. You guys know that. I've tried to do a couple of chart shows that have kind of bombed because I just don't have the time to do the research. But I really enjoy music charts. I mean, they have been a joy to my life since I was a very small child. And that's thanks to American Top 40 with Casey Kasem. I found that show when I was probably, I don't know, 7 or 8. I remember listening to it religiously from the time I discovered it. I was there every week. I was there. It was 3 hours long. I was there when it expanded to 4 hours long. And I stayed with it for most of the 80s and early 90s throughout Casey Kasem's tenure. And then Shadow Stevens, and then of course Casey moved over to Casey's Top 40, which was on in the morning on the same station that carried AT40 on Sundays, so I listened to both of them. In between, I made my own charts. I collected radio charts, radio station surveys, and all that stuff. When I was in 7th grade or 8th grade, I discovered a book called the Billboard Book of Top 40 Hits, and I didn't get one until the spring of 1978, but I knew about it. And then I discovered that there was one that also covered the whole Hot 100 and a whole ream of other books, and they all came from this company called Record Research Inc. out of Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, all run by a gentleman who was a chart fanatic like myself, a man named Joel Whitburn. Joel Whitburn passed away this week. He was 82 years old. And the chart lovers out there have suffered a great big loss with Joel's passing. I, over the years, always tried to have the top 40 book, and eventually I was able to pick up one or two of the other books. And then when I got a job where I was making a little more money, I expanded the collection greatly. I have, I don't know, probably around 25 of the Whitburn books in my collection now. And I'm still adding to it because I'm still buying the photocopied books of all the charts. All of the work that Joel put into these books and his team at Record Research, just it's like a technical manual was to Scotty on Star Trek. I can sit and devour these things and just go through everything. And I mean, I use them constantly. I use them for this show. I use them for Obscuria, especially, where I'm quoting the chart positions and stuff. I use them all the time. Joel was a chart man extraordinaire, and he was as fascinated with the music charts as I am. And my fascination with them came from being a fan of his books. It was very cool to know how high a song got, when it was popular, what peak it had, how many weeks it's been on the chart. This was the cool thing to me. And Whitburn's books have been an invaluable resource to music researchers, music writers, and music fans like myself. I've shown off some of the various books. This is the most recent one. This is Joel Whitburn Presents the Hot 100, the 2000s. This is one that came a few weeks ago. It's the most recent book in my collection. And I got it primarily because I'm going to use it for references and stuff when I'm working on the Missing Years project. Um, I have other books that have been inspired by Joel. I have two or three books on the Chicago top 40 radio scene in the 70s that have listed all their hits and done it in the same way that Joel did in his first big book, which was Billboard Top Pop Hits. And initially it was 1958 to 1969, and then he did a yearbook every year for a while, and then he just started revising the book every 3 or 4 years. Right now, there's Top Pop Singles is now going to be split into 2 volumes. The first volume of the new 2 volume set came out late last year. The second volume will be out late this year. And the first volume will never have to be replaced. It stops at 1979 and covers all that earlier days. And then 80s and 90s and forward will be in the newer book. And that one will have to be updated every 3 or 4 years, like, how I've been doing. I get so much joy from these books, and I have a complete list of the books I do own on my TKR chart reference library section of my website, thekirkhamreport.com. Joel was an amazing man. His team, led by Paul Haney, terrific stuff. And I'm going to post a couple of videos in the notes, links to a couple of videos, one of Joel and one of Paul's wonderful tribute to him when they found out that he had passed away, in the show notes. And I urge you to go see them. Joel's record collection was huge. He had every single album ever on the Billboard 200, and I believe he had most of the singles as well. And there's a great video from a few years ago where he takes you through the record research library, and it is absolutely stunning. I wish I'd had the chance to meet him. And as I told Paul in the comment I made on his tribute video, I know he and his team will continue with Joel watching from the great beyond over their shoulders and encouraging them to go forward with their work at Record Research Inc. I've had dealings with some of them every now and then, and to Paul, I told him, you guys, you were a big part of my life, and I consider Joel right up there with Casey Kasem and the AT40 team and Dick Clark as two of my greatest inspirations in music, and he was the third. I will miss him terribly, and I hope that his team will continue to be able to put out great reference books, and I know that Paul and the remaining team will make sure Record Research Inc. continues going forward into another generation of music, another generation of books. Joel, we will miss you. Out of the box this week is, of course, more 45s from Dawn and Mary. I told you last week I had ordered some. Now, this week I didn't get anything from the auction. A lot of that stuff I already had, and I was outbid by a couple people, so I don't have anything new coming next week, but I have a great supply here, and I want to divide it into certain sections because I have this one stack right here is all promos, and some of them I have wanted for a long time, and it's really great. I got a few things that I have before, but most of it I do not have, and it ranges from the 50s to the 90s. Starting with the promos, this one, I love this song, and I never found the single when it was out in 1975, and when I saw it in the set they were selling last week, I'm like, I don't care how much I have to bid, I will get this record. Because it's my favorite song by the man in the 70s, and just fantastic. Anytime, I'll be there, Frank Sinatra. Top 10 hit on the AC chart in 1975. Slight disco beat. I thought this was the only one, but he did do a disco cover of Night and Day that was god awful, and I'm sure he was having fits with whoever came up with it. Love this song. Days of Wine and Roses, mono stereo, I believe, from Andy Williams. Gold vinyl. Love that. This was hard to find at Discogs because usually this came out with I've forgotten which other song. I had to dig to find that promo. The Mike Curb Congregation, You Were on My Mind. This is 1975. I thought they were done well before that. Playboy Records, Every Day Without You by Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds, which probably was actually Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Dennison. And Discogs says this is disco. I've never heard them do disco, so I don't know. I'm not familiar with that song. Lady, I talked about on Influencers a couple of weeks ago. The promo of Attack of the Name Game by Stacey Lattisaw on Cotillion, mono and stereo. Another great act that really got dissed, one hit, and they deserve better than that. Waiting for a Star to Fall, Boy Meets Girl. Number one hit in 1970 and 1988. This has both the album version and a slightly remixed version. I didn't even know this came out on vinyl. I think I have it on CD. I might be wrong, though. I might have the 45. And Joe Williams and The Bible Tells Me So and Ask Anybody. Very classic. Not sure what year that came out. The late 60s, I believe. Now, those are the promos. But I also got a cool version of ELO and Sweet Talkin' Woman. Now, Discogs says this has a misprint. All copies of this have a misprint that says that the flip side, Fire on High, is on Out of the Blue, but it's actually on an earlier album. And it is see-through purple vinyl. Very, very cool. A UK pressing. I don't know the song. I'm familiar with the band, of course, but I don't know the song. Doctor and the Medics and Hi-Ho Silver Lining, the Prescription Mix, and Black and Blue. The White Label, I don't know if it's a promo or not. I can't tell. I don't know how British bands do that. And then just a regular stack of the rest of 45s here. Let's Groove, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Instrumental on the back. Boogie Nights, Heat Wave, and All You Do Is Dial. Johnny Cash, Ballad of a Teenage Queen, and Big River. My stepfather had Big River on an album. Frankie Ford and C. Cruz and Roberta. Gary, U.S. Bonds and Out of Work, a number one TKR hit from 1982. Love that song. This is in terrible shape, and it was label-wise, and it was from Phyllis, Own It originally. Gwen McCrae, Rocking Chair. Never had this single. Glad to add that to my collection. Classic disco hit. Not familiar with this one, so I'll be discovering it when I listen to it. Leaving Me by The Independents, and I Love You, Yes I Do on Wand Records. I'm not familiar with the label either. Not familiar with Cat Records either, the label Gwen McCrae was on. This was marked as a promo, but Dawn, it isn't a promo. I just want to let you know that. But that's cool because I don't have this on 45. Happy Together and Facing the Crowd from the Nylons. Great remake of the classic Turtle song by them. Made me huge fans of the Nylons. I had like 9 of their albums. I love them. This was impossible to find, and I didn't take the time to put it in Discogs. I just grabbed one and notated it for myself. Larry Lee and Don't Talk. According to Discogs, they only release promos, which isn't true. I already had this one. Graham Central Station, belonging to Lane, as you'll see there. The Jam and the Jam. This might be a promo. Different versions, different lengths of the song. Led, of course, by Larry Graham. Too Hot to Trot and Funky Situation from the Commodores. What You Gonna Do and Atlanta June from Pablo Cruz, one of my favorite yacht rock bands of the 70s. Back-to-back hits according to this single. Debbie Boone, You Light Up My Life, and Hasta Manada. It's odd that they put back-to-back hits since those were back-to-back on the original release. And I don't remember Hasta Manada being a hit, but who knows? Chicago, Just You and Me, and Critics' Choice. Wrong sleeve there, but that's okay. Americans, Byron McGregor's recitation of Gordon Sinclair's rabid defense of We Americans in 1973. This was a top 10 hit in America. Byron McGregor was the news director of CKLW in Windsor, Detroit, at the time this was out, although Gordon Sinclair's version has always been the superior one to me. Lieberstraum and When the Saints Come Marching In by Mickey Fenn. My mom was a huge fan of his. Out of Space and I Wrote a Simple Song. Billy Preston. Have this. This is one of the ones I have. Let me move these into another stack here. I'll get that out of the way. It's Howdy Doody time, and Howdy Doody's Do's and Don'ts, a reissue from 1971, featuring Howdy Doody and his creator, Buffalo Bob Smith. Yike. This song is great, and it is in pristine shape because it was a radio station copy. If you've not heard this song, I had it on Obscuria back, I think, in November or December. So go check it out. It's magnificent. Midnight Blue by Louise Tucker. Only hit she had in America. Fantastic song. Love Trippin' and Now That You're Mine Again by Spinners. I'm not familiar with this song. I'll have to listen to that one and hear it. Devil Woman and Shine On, Shine On. Love On, Shine On. Cliff Richard on Elton John's Rocket Records. I have this, but my copy is actually cracked, so I'm very glad to re-add it to my collection. The Morning After, Maureen McGovern, and it is actually in really, really good shape. Must have been a radio station copy. Almost new. Daryl Hall and John Oates and Sarah Smile and Bouldering on that mid-70s kind of tan RCA label. Not quite orange. Not quite black yet again. Then Lie Between Love and Hate, The Persuaders, backed with Thigh Spy. Don't even want to know what that is. Cannonball, Dwayne Eddy, along with Mason Dixon Lion. And I'm not kidding about the spelling of that title. It is Lion. I don't know whether he was trying to pretend to be the artist on this or not, but there's a Dymo label maker of the word Brian across Andy Kim's name. Rock Me Gently, #1 hit from 1974. Back-to-back hits, Misty and Maria from Johnny Mathis. The Bells, Stay a While and Sing a Song of Freedom. It's odd because I don't remember this being on Polydor, but Discogs says it always has been. I remember it being on Philips, so I'm not sure. I know Philips was Polydor's parent company, or vice versa, for a while, so maybe at some point it changed. The Full Cleveland and She Loves You by Starbuck. This is on Lowry Records. Yes, this is the same Starbuck that had a hit with Moonlight Feels Right. I checked it. Another artist I'm not familiar with, it's R&B apparently. Nancy Grandquist, and It's Going to Be Worth It All on New Pax Records. Get so many cool new labels from Don and Mary. Well, I've never seen. It's like, I love label stuff. Alone Again Naturally, and Save It from Gilbert O'Sullivan. Pretty Girls Everywhere, and For the Rest of My Life, Eugene Church and the Fellows, I think it is, on Class Records. I think it's 59 if I remember right. It doesn't say there. Ooh. Bernadette and 7 Rooms of Gloom from the Four Tops on the Motown Yesteryear series with a drill hole, which means it's either a promo or a cutout, usually. And Picture Sleeve, another artist I'm not familiar with, but it sounds good. Sharon Bryant and Let Go, that was Saturday Night. And also included in this, I'm going to have the whole series of this by the time we get done, Dawn. This is, I think, number 2. Yeah, the second one of these. There's 5 songs in this total series. Back of a cereal box, Bobby Sherman. This is Hey Mr. Sun, which is song 2 out of the 5. I have 2 of the other ones. Maybe we can find all 5 of them, Dawn. That'd be cool. And I have my black box will be here next week, and hopefully it'll be good. I remember what I said last month, and I did make a whole bunch of changes, so hopefully that'll help. And who knows what else I'll come up with. I may get some stuff for Record Store Day. I don't know yet, but we'll see. And that's out of the box for this week. A couple months ago on Artists You Should Know, I brought up a wonderful young singer, songwriter, and guitarist named Dylan Zangwill. I want you to go over and check some of his new stuff. I have some links in the show notes that I really think you'll enjoy. A couple of months ago, Dylan took part in a night of Stardust, a tribute to David Bowie, with a number of other Philadelphia area artists. Did 3 songs, delivered on all of them. He did Stardust, he did Under Pressure, and Suffragette City, I believe. Absolutely fantastic versions of these songs. Dylan at 15 is already shaping up to be a major rock star in the future. I also have a link to his channel, and a couple of other things I want you to pay attention to are his recent appearances on, I think it was Fox TV 69 in Philadelphia. They interviewed him. He performed a couple of original songs. You can find those on his channel, and they're just terrific. I really think Dylan is going to be a major star when his EP comes out later this year, hopefully. He's been working on it since the beginning of the year, and hopefully we'll have it out before the end of the year. I mean, just the 2 times he was on America's Got Talent just blew me away, and I really think that he is destined for greatness. At just 15 years old, he's already a seasoned pro. He's been playing club dates. I have a link to his upcoming dates if you're in the Philly area. He's got about 10 upcoming performances at different shows in the area and venues. So check him out, and of course be sure to let us know what you think of him live if you see him there. Dylan is just definitely an artist you should know and keep an eye on, and I urge you to check out those links in the show notes. Dylan, I hope you have a great summer, and can't wait to see you. Hopefully you'll come up to Boston sometime when we'll be able to see you live. over the next 2 weeks, I should be able to get a lot of work done on recordstorerewind.com, our new site devoted to record stores of the past, present, and future. I have quite a few submissions sitting, waiting to be posted. I just haven't had time to get them up, and I have a lot of my own memories. I still haven't done much since the end of May, but I do have a week of off work coming up, and I do intend to get quite a bit of stuff up that week. If you don't know what Record Store Rewind is, it is a site that is the Kirkham Report connected. It is designed to remember the record stores of the past, the record chains of the past, and also record stores that are around now that the vinyl community uses all the time in the resale, the vintage community. We need any information you can get, and I will have a form up in the next week or so. I know I've been saying that for a month, but I'm actually working on it, where you can have you can use to submit your ideas and your memories about your local record stores of the past, present, and future. Don't leave the current ones out. If you have local ones in your area, let us know where they are, what city they're in, what kind of stuff they carry, what you think of the staff if you shop there. We want to know everything you can about all the record stores you remember, because I want Record Store Rewind to be the deadmalls.com site to go to when you're looking for record store information. You can continue to check out the site as I get it evolved. It is recordstorerewind.com, and we will have more on it in the next couple of weeks. In the Bad Pages this week, I want to talk to you about something that just blew my mind this week. I went to pay our cable bill. As we are being serviced by RCN, or as they are now known in some places, Astound Broadband from RCN. Anyway, inflation may take its toll, and COVID may take its toll over the years. But our bill, I don't know what happened, and nobody at the cable company can give me a really good explanation. We haven't changed any channels that we get. We haven't done anything different than we have done since we got RCN a couple of years ago. Inexplicably, our cable bill jumped by $179 a month, which means that where we were paying cable, broadband, and phone, we were paying, because we have the gigantic package. We get all the movie channels, we get all the entertainment channels, we get everything because we're habitual TV watchers, and we have a Roku also, so we're always watching stuff through broadband. Our bill jumped from where it had been, which averaged around $300 a month. The new bill, after deducting the pay-per-view that we ordered, which we knew what would be there, was $479. And that's the new limit, the new rate. And I'm like, no, this is not acceptable. Tried conversations with them. No, their standard rate increases and blah, 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 blah. You're actually going to expect your viewers, your subscribers to pay that much for cable entertainment? I mean, I could drop it down to 100, get rid of cable and phone, just use internet, get it under 150 a month. Or I can go back to Comcast, where I can get everything I'm getting now with RCN, supposedly. Remember, those rates change. Whatever the advertised rate is, it's rarely right. I could get it for $159 a month. And you expect me to pay $479 a month? I'm sorry, no. I love RCN. They're super responsive, unlike Comcast, who is just terrible. We had them for 20 years, and it's just like, their response time is terrible. Their appointment time is terrible. RCN will usually get you an appointment within 48 hours. They will be there when they say they will be there, and they will remedy the problem that you have. In our case, it's been internet issues twice or three times. And we pay extra money to get immediate service there too, so I could drop that, and then we'd have to wait a couple of weeks instead of just 2 days. But, you know, I can't afford that now that I'm doing stuff online all the time. Comcast service, by comparison, is a nightmare. When we had a problem before that they caused, they put the wrong thing in the wrong place and rerouted it and rewired it backwards, so our cable cut out. They couldn't come fix it for almost 3 weeks. So we were without television for 3 weeks, just DVDs and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to go back to Comcast, but I'm not going to pay almost $500 a month for cable. It's hard enough here in the Boston area to pay the exorbitant amounts we pay for rent. I mean, our rental fees have gone up every year, and it's just ridiculous of what we pay for a 2-bedroom apartment. But I'll tell you something. I will ditch RCN in a second if this rate holds. I cannot understand why something would be that expensive. I mean, I'm talking to people online, my friends in various communities, who pay less than $200 a month for their cable service and broadband and everything else. And that's what ours used to be too. But we also get everything. We get all the movie channels. We get all the music channels, all the extra channels. The only thing we don't get are the foreign language channels, because we don't need them here. We don't speak the languages, and we don't have... our particular household has no interest in, Korean television, Russian television, so on and so forth. There's a lot of pockets around here that do. They subscribe to those. We don't need them, and so we don't get them, but we get everything else. And I might just start paring things back, because I'm fed up with it. I mean, this is just ridiculous. $500 almost a month they want for regular internet, cable, and phone. And we don't even use the phone line. It's just there. It comes with the package. You can't get it without it. And we don't even have a landline phone in the house anymore. We use our cell phones. So it's like, okay, I don't know. In any case, RCN, you haven't figured this out yet to my satisfaction. I do not accept that it is just a rate increase. $179 rate increase is insanity at its top notch. I might expect it to go up 20 or 30 bucks, but $179 in 1 month? F you. That's the back pages.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You want to stop by later? Maybe I'll go to fix something to you. You want to grab something from the street and bring it out? But, yeah, I'm just...
Didn't mean to get so militant there, but I mean, I'm sorry. I'm outraged by the rates on that, and so that's just how it's going to be. I want to bring attention to the fact that I have a little surprise. You can't see it. I'll have to stand up. Let me move the microphone. I have Kirkham Report t-shirts now, and if you like one, you can get one. You can click the link, will be in the show notes, and show off that you're a fan of the show. It's very comfortable for 3X. I usually get 4X because I like them baggy, but it's actually very comfortable for 3X. And I hope anyone who likes the show will order one and show off how much you like the show and help me grow my subscriptions that way. But, it's there if you want it. If you don't want it, that's up to you. It's just there because I thought it would be cool to have if people would want to do that. I know I have one for Two Hip Chicks, and I have a t-shirt for Vintage and Vinyl, and I have a t-shirt for the Early Morning Sunday Show with Professor Carlson and Kat, and I wear those all the time, and I show off people. I actually had somebody at the grocery store go, I watched that channel, when I had Katie's Vintage and Vinyl shirt on. So that was very cool. So if you want one, the show notes is there. And they are being done by Spring, and I hope everybody will get one if you like the show. If not, don't worry. I hope you will, and I actually am going to give one away in a few weeks anyway. I got an extra one. as I said earlier, I am working this coming week. I have redone my schedule so that there are just 3 shows a week besides this one. There's the retro pop countdown, there's influencers, and there will be Rank This starting in July. And the other shows will all be specials, and I will continue to do them occasionally, and they will pop up, on an off day, Wednesday, Friday, whatever. I will continue to pop those in from time to time, but they're not going to be regular schedule shows anymore. Also want to remind you that coming up over July 4th weekend, starting June 30th, 2 a day for 5 days, now 3 days, like I said a couple of weeks ago. Summer of 78 is a 10-part miniseries about some of the greatest music of all time, from the greatest musical summer of all time, in my opinion. And I've been working on this for almost a year, and I hope you will like it and enjoy it. And it is going to premiere. There'll be 2 installments a day, starting June 30th and going through July 4th. And I hope you will like it. I hope you will tell people it's out there, and I hope you will comment on it and let me know what you think of it. And speaking of that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. If you like what you see, please hit the like button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll know when I do new stuff, although it's not really a big thing. It does help the YouTube algorithm. And please leave a comment. I love talking to people watching my shows, and I enjoy your feedback, and it's just always great fun to have interaction with other people out there. I've made so many great friends that way. Bernard, I'm glad you got your lottery package this week and that you enjoyed it. I told the hell about that, and it finally did show, so go over and watch Bernard's video. And I hope that everyone will continue to have a great summer, listen to great music all the time, and continue to enjoy what I have to offer. Until next week for the Kirkham Report, I'm TC Kirkham. Ciao, baby.